Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed at 1,000 subscribers. I'll be posting a special video. My plate, I reach. Anna pulls it away and smiles. I'm Mara, 33, and my palm stings from the grab. She slides the food toward my husband like a dealer. Hot center, meat forward, right hand, her tone pricks. I breathe once and touch her wrist, then she jerks back. He watches the swap and adjusts his sleeve. Anna tilts the fork as if posing for a lesson. You want harmony, start with order. She sets the fork down. I push the plate back across the wood, slow. Her jaw clicks as the plate kisses my side again. Serve him, he earns it. Her voice lands like a rulebook. He clears his throat and reaches for the glass. I pluck the glass first and set it near me. Thirsty people use their legs. I keep my eyes steady. Anna's nostrils flare once, tiny, sharp like a warning. She circles the table and straightens his napkin. He lets her shoulders soft, like he deserves attendance. Stand when he enters, smile before questions. She pats fabric. I pull the napkin free and place it on my lap. New policy, I serve me first, I say, heart hammering. Her bracelets clatter, one slips, she stops it with a fingertip. Reckless wives lose ground, she murmurs near his ear. He shifts toward her like heat collects there. Step back, I tell her, and the chair leg bites tile. She doesn't move and the air tightens between us. I lift the knife and saw the steak once. She mutters, diagonal like a correction stamped in ink. I slice straight, slow, just to hear the scrape. He reaches for a piece and waits for my eyes. He chews and he doesn't blink until I do. Anna taps her phone and aims the camera. Proof of progress, she says, sweet and managerial. I tilt the plate so her frame fills with nothing. No training videos in my house, I say, lips dry. She lowers the phone but keeps the screen glowing. He tries a laugh, thin and eager to vanish. Let her help, he says, voice barely off a whisper. I cut another piece and set it on my fork. I hold it toward him and stop halfway. Open, I say, and watch his ears burn. Anna steps forward like a referee late to call. Feeding is intimate, offer with both hands, her chin lifts. I hold the fork with one hand and keep it steady. He parts his lips, then glances at her for permission. I retract the fork and his mouth closes on air. The phone buzzes again in her palm. A flash of text shows day 2 checklist. She tilts it away and tucks it behind her hip. I lean closer until she has to step back. Bring that list out, I say, and my pulse jumps. She hesitates, eyes on him, not on me. He reaches an arm between us like a bar. We're good, he mutters, and it lands like fog. I tap the table with the knife tip once. List now, I repeat, and the room edges colder. Anna exhales through her nose and unlocks the phone. A neat grid fills the glass with little boxes. Greet, plate, praise, defer, align. She tilts it my way. I scan the verbs and feel the floor tip. My thumb hovers near the screen, then I pull back. She tucks the phone again and opens the drawer. A clean towel flicks over her forearm like theater. Wipe his hands before he reaches, she steps in. I step faster and catch his wrist first. I lift a napkin and he freezes under my grip. My breath steadies as I dab the wine spot. He pulls away and rubs the mark himself. Anna folds the towel with tidy satisfaction. See, guidance works, she smiles like a coach. I smile back and something mean flickers ready. I turn to the sink and open the tap. I rinse a glass and set it upside down. She scoffs because I don't towel it to shine. I'm not polishing trophies, I say without turning. Her reflection hovers near mine and then drifts closer. She reaches past my shoulder to grab the salt. Her sleeve brushes me like an accidental shove. Season for him before yourself, she returns to his side. I take the shaker and dust my portion only. I hold her stare and twist the lid loose. Grains spill like marbles and she jolts to catch it. He laughs for real, quick and guilty like a hiccup. I tighten the lid and set the shaker down clean. Accidents happen, I say, and my fingertips tingle. Anna wipes the rim with a folded edge, eyes narrowed. He pushes back his chair and stands halfway. Enough, he mutters, palms lifted like traffic signs. I plant my hands on the table and lean in. Choose, I tell him, and the word hangs like smoke. Anna straightens and the room holds its breath with us. He looks at my plate, he looks at hers. His throat works through a quiet swallow that isn't quiet. I want dinner without a fight, he tries again. I slide him my plate full, then take his untouched. Eat, but you watch me serve myself first, I say. Anna's smile dies slow, then vanishes altogether. She folds her towel into a perfect square and waits. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I spear a piece and let the juice run down. Hard is honest, I answer, and she finally steps back. Her phone buzzes again, 3 pulses, then silence. She glances at the screen and hides it fast. I raise my eyebrows and tilt my head once. She shakes her head with a small no and a swallow. The towel slips from her fingers and lands like a gauntlet. The door knocks twice and my phone lights with a ping. Calendar invite from her, service rehearsal in 5 minutes. His name sits under accepted like a neat stamp. I swipe decline and turn the knob anyway. Anna steps in without waiting, chin high like a badge. She holds up a tiny kitchen timer and clicks start. Round 1, breakfast protocol, her smile looks drilled. He appears behind me, belt half fastened and waiting. I press the timer's button and let the tick die. Round 0, my house, my rules, I say steady. She brings out a laminated card and angles it upward. Prompts help when initiative fails, her tone stays bright. He reaches for the card as if it's oxygen. I take it first and slide it into my pocket. Anna tilts her head, then reopens her bag like a magician. The phone on the counter buzzes with a fresh banner. Group thread title blares mentor board with 3 unseen avatars. New message pops, escalate if resistance persists, smiley face attached. I glance up and Anna pretends she didn't see. He rubs his temple and stares at the empty mug. If you're hungry, make something, I say without blinking. He swallows, opens the fridge, then freezes at the shelf. Anna touches his elbow and nods at the stove. Ask for service, practice the phrasing, she whispers near him. My jaw clamps and the room's pulse goes off beat. I open voice memos and tap the red circle. The phone sits face down near the spice rack. Anna starts lining up steps like a cheer captain. Request, receive, appreciate, repeat. She plants herself by the sink. He looks over his shoulder and waits for a rescue. Ask, I tell him and spread my hands apart. He inhales and tries a careful string of words. Could you prepare my breakfast, please? He mutters toward the floor. I grab a pan and set it down with intent. Now you say thank you before I move, I answer. The doorbell cuts through us like a sharp cue. A delivery sits on the mat, oversized bow tied tight. The card reads for your trainer with a heart. I hand it to Anna and hold her eyes. His shoulders drop while the timer ticks again in silence. She pockets the card and clears her throat with purpose. Positive reinforcement builds momentum, she says, almost cheerful. I drag a chair between them and sit like a referee. You two want practice, do it outside this door. Anna doesn't blink and reaches for her phone anyway. Another alert fires from the counter with a chime. New instruction flashes, public praise neutralizes defiance, bold font glaring. Anna angles her screen so he can read along. He nods once, then looks at me like he's trapped. I cross my arms and let the seconds stretch thin. I flip open his laptop and the camera wakes. A shared folder sits center stage titled Scripts and Drills. One file blinks Deference Week with today's date stamped clean. I double-click and hit play with a calm thumb. Anna lunges, but I block with an elbow and keep it rolling. Her voice comes from the speakers, crisp and confident. Guide him to accept care without debate, reward compliance. He steps back like the audio burned his shoes. I turn the volume higher and meet his stare. He reaches for the cord and stops when I don't move. I type while they hover, session canceled due to interference. Send, the thread erupts with stickers and can lines. One message lands, use family leverage now, include an audience. Anna's mouth twitches and she dials a number fast. I hold up a finger and shake my head once. Breakfast is simple, you can cook it yourself, I say. I crack 2 eggs with one motion and let them hiss. He grabs a plate and holds it like a petition. Say what you want without reading her script, I push. He finally answers and the words scrape like gravel. I want you, not a drill, he blurts out. Anna scoffs and taps her timer with a sharp nail. Regression, reset the routine, she instructs like traffic control. I slide the finished eggs to my side and wait. Silence grows teeth and nobody blinks first. The doorbell rings again like this morning won't quit. Our neighbor peeks through the opening with curious eyebrows raised. Anna covers the timer with her palm and fakes a smile. I swing the door wider and gesture toward the kitchen. Perfect, fresh witnesses, I say, and Anna's jaw tightens. Not here, he whispers, eyes pleading for a quiet fix. I close the door on the neighbor and turn back slow. Decision time, she leaves or you join her outside. Anna straightens her shoulders like she's bracing for applause. He stares at the floor as if it can vote. I pick up the timer and start it again deliberately. 60 seconds, I announce, voice clear enough to cut. Anna whispers a single word in. To her microphone, reset. The group thread pings with a chorus of thumbs up. I watch the seconds fall and hold the room hostage. 0, I press stop on the countdown and open the door wide. Anna's training bag lands on the porch with a dull thump. You're outside or this ends here, my hand stays on the frame. He doesn't move, she lifts her chin and waits me out. I lift my phone and start the memo from earlier. Her voice spills into the kitchen like an order in progress. He winces and checks the hallway as if someone might appear. Pause it, his palm hovers near my screen and trembles. I set the phone on the counter and raise the volume. Guide him to accept care without debate, the recording repeats. Anna's lips press together, then flatten into something stubborn. Turn that off, she reaches and I block with my wrist. The neighbor knocks once and peers through the side window. I wave him in and step aside 2 inches. Anna stiffens while the door swings open an inch more. Quick question, I say, and the neighbor keeps his eyebrows up. Does this sound like coaching or control to you? I gesture. He listens for 3 beats and glances between the 3 of us. That's not breakfast talk, he answers, then backs toward the hall. He leaves the door ajar, which suits me fine. I open the family chat and hit record for a clip. The memo overlaps with my voice and builds a stack. Anna lunges for the phone and clips the corner of the case. I snatch it back and pin it under my palm. 2 choices, I pull a sheet from the drawer and flatten it. No private sessions between you, or you both leave now. I set a marker down and slide the paper toward him. Write it, sign it, then we eat in peace. He grips the marker and starts his name with a shaky line. Anna coughs once, soft and precise like a cue. The marker hovers midair and his eyes flick left. I pick up the memo remote and rewind 3 seconds. On the speakers, her earlier whisper catches, escalate if resistance persists. He shuts his eyes and swallows hard like it hurts. Finish the line, I say, and nudge the page closer. He adds the boundary halfway, then stops before the period. New condition, I pull his laptop open and wake the screen. I drag the folder named Scripts into a new archive. The mouse arrow locks as Anna taps a sequence fast. No access, she mutters, and her jaw tenses even harder. I type a new password and hit enter with 2 fingers. Anna's eyes flare when the folder jumps to a cloud icon. Backups run now, I tell them, and watch the bar climb. He rubs his temple and steps between us like thin armor. Last chance, I open the front closet and roll out a suitcase. Zippers rasp, I drop it upright near the door with purpose. You keep her training out, or I pack and go. The suitcase handle waits between my fingers like a verdict. Anna pulls out her phone and raises it shoulder level. Say you're overreacting, her voice aims past me at him. He stays silent and looks at the half sentence on the page. I tap the suitcase once and the sound lands like a threat. I draft a calendar invite and add every family contact. Title reads dinner at ours tonight, no surprises, bring honesty. I hit send and set the phone down face up. Anna blanches just a fraction, then steadies her spine again. He reaches for the invite and stares at the attendee list. Do not do this, he whispers, the words nearly breaking apart. I lift the memo again and let her advice loop softly. This is already public, I say, and his shoulders sink an inch. Anna tries the laptop once more and enters a wrong code. The screen flashes a lock and starts a 30-second hold. Touch it again and I'll film your hands, I warn. She steps back, but her eyes burn for another route. I slide the signed line back to him with the marker. Complete it, my voice comes out calm and final. He adds the missing word and presses the tip hard. Ink bleeds through and stains the wood in a sharp dot. I take a photo of the page and save it twice. One copy to my email, one copy to a fresh drive. Anna watches the second save and flinches at the light buzz. I pocket the drive and hold her stare until she looks away. Now practice something real, I move the plate to my place. You want food, you reach like any adult, I sit straight. He nods and lifts his own plate without prompting. Anna's breath catches and the room waits for the next beat. I cast the screen to the TV and open the archive. Folders bloom across the display with dates and tidy labels. Anna flinches as one clip autoplays at mid-volume. Her cue tones echo through our kitchen like a drill siren. He reaches for the remote and I slap his hand away. Eyes on this, I say, and set the remote behind me. The clip shows her coaching voice, brisk and confident. Anna steps sideways toward the plug and I block with a foot. A new message pings the corner of the cast window. Mentor board asks for a stotch. S with a blinking dot. I expand the chat and scroll to a pinned thread. Screenshots of checklists stack like receipts for obedience. Reply now, I tell her and tilt the mic toward her mouth. She keeps silent and stares at the moving timestamp. I type instead, training suspended due to boundary violation. Her jaw tightens and she bites the inside of her cheek. He moves between us and raises both palms nervously. Stop the broadcast, he pleads, eyes darting toward the hallway. I lower the volume but keep the picture giant. We continue until this house runs on consent, I say. The doorbell rings in a fast triple beat that rattles me. I open the door and my mother steps in without blinking. She spots the TV and then Anna near the outlet. Are we early? She asks, voice low and pointed. Right on time, I answer and gesture to the chairs. Anna smooths her sleeve and keeps her chin angled up. He drifts to the counter and grips the edge hard. I pull up the contract photo and slide the screen to Mom. Mom reads the line and taps the period for emphasis. Clear enough, she mutters, then looks straight at him. You sign this, you honor it, her gaze never wavers. He nods once and a pulse jumps in his neck. Anna's phone vibrates again with a new instruction card. I extend my palm and wait until she gives it over. The headline blares, family leverage activated with bullet points. Mom takes the phone and scrolls until her mouth thins. Call ends now, Mom says and hits leave meeting. She turns the device face down and pushes it away. Anna's breath goes shallow but she doesn't retreat. I open voice memos and start a fresh capture. Speak your role, I tell her and hold the phone steady. Anna stares at my husband like he's a teleprompter. He stares at the floor and doesn't rescue her. The silence stretches until it quivers on the edge. She finally whispers, I supervised routine for stability. Supervised what? I press and lean forward a fraction. His intake, his preparation, his behavior during meals. Mom exhales hard and that becomes our gavel. I switch clips and show a sequence labeled live drill. Anna's voice instructs a reward after each compliance step. He squeezes his eyes shut and rubs his temple. I pause on her phrase that mentions escalation thresholds. Was this romantic? I ask, eyes on her hands. She shakes her head too quickly and swallows. Instructional only, she manages, voice thin and careful. Mom lifts one eyebrow and lets the claim hang. Then you won't mind deleting the archive, I continue. I open settings and cue the erase command. Anna lunges but stops when Mom folds her arms. He watches me and nods once for permission. Password, I prompt and hold out the keyboard. Anna swipes sweat off her lip and types slowly. The system denies entry with a short buzz. I look at him and he admits I changed it. I enter the new code and hit confirm. A spinner whirls and a bar creeps across. Wait, Anna blurts, reaching as if to catch the progress. I hold her back with a forearm and keep my eyes forward. The TV blinks to an error and then clears. Archive removed, the banner reads, followed by a checkmark. Mom nods once and steps aside for the next move. I pull the drive from my pocket and lift it high. This keeps one copy for legal safety, I announce. Anna's eyes flash at the word legal like it stung. You won't publish, she whispers, pressing fingers to her throat. Not if the boundary holds, I answer, leaving the rest unsaid. He walks to the table and sets out 3 plates. No one needs to prompt him or choreograph his motions. He looks at me for a beat and waits. I nod and the line between us steadies. Anna edges toward the door with stiff shoulders. You stay for dinner, I tell her and leave it unclear. She stops and glances at Mom for mercy. Mom gestures to a chair like an uncompromising referee. I place the serving spoon in the center and step back. Whoever wants food can reach like a grown adult. Anna doesn't move, but her eyes test the distance. He serves himself and keeps his gaze off Anna entirely. The room stays tight while forks meet plates. No one talks until the first bites go down. Mom breaks the silence with a single sentence. Tomorrow we meet again if any of this repeats. I open the front door before the second knock lands. My brother steps in with our father 2 strides behind. Mom slips past them and fixes on Anna without blinking. Chairs scrape back as everyone takes positions like a lineup. I plant the contract in the center and tap the period. Read it out loud, my finger stays on the page. He clears his throat and the words come tight and thin. No private instruction, no secret channels, no drills, the room holds. Anna folds her arms and angles toward the counter. Her phone vibrates once on the surface like a trapped insect. I flip it and a notification blooms across the glass. Auto charge confirmed for weekend intensive, amount due today. Mom's head tilts slow, then lands on my husband. Are you paying for this circus? She asks without raising volume. He glances at the screen and rubs his mouth. Refund window closes tonight, Anna murmurs, tapping her wristband. I hit call on the number in the receipt. A clipped voice answers with a greeting and a reference code. Cancel our enrollment, I say and angle the speaker outward. The voice requests the account holder for confirmation and pauses. He stares at the family and then at the contract. His jaw works like the answer sticks halfway up. I hand him the phone and raise my eyebrows. He exhales and says, terminate our package, to the room. The rep asks for a reason and waits through static. I nod at the TV and cast a still image. Anna's checklist fills the screen with bullets and timestamps. He swallows hard and says, violation of boundaries, then ends it. My brother lifts a brow and points at Anna's wrist. Stand down, he says, voice level like a warning shot. She loosens her arms and slides the band to her pocket. Her eyes flick toward the door like she's measuring angles. I open my laptop and pull up bank activity. Multiple transfers show from our joint account labeled coaching. I scroll and stop on one tagged private session 2. Explain that label, I say, and the cursor blinks. Anna opens her mouth and closes it again. He leans on the counter with both hands heavy. I asked for help when we argued, he manages finally. Help doesn't invoice secrets, I answer, and my father nods. Mom gestures to the contract for another pass. I slide a pen across and keep my hand steady. Add one line, she says, eyes never leaving Anna. No direct contact outside group threads, no exceptions. He signs the addition and dots the I too hard. Ink bleeds a tiny mark, we all pretend no. D to C. I take a photo and send it to the family chat. Anna flinches as the delivery chime bounces around us. The hallway camera blinks alive on the TV corner. Someone tries a remote login and hits the door feed. I push deny and toggle a fresh password in seconds. Anna watches the pop-up vanish and shifts her weight. Our father steps closer and plants his palm on the table. This ends or the house empties, he says, steady and cold. No one argues with that ground-level sentence. I nod once and feel the floor stop moving. I pull out my phone and open voice memos again. A new track starts with a soft chime and a red dot. Anna, I say, state your intention here today. Her throat works and then she answers with 2 clipped words. Correction practice. Correction for who, I ask, keeping my voice even. She hesitates and glances at my husband like a cue card. Both of you, she says, and the lie lands crooked. Mom snorts once and sits straighter for the next blow. I reach under the counter and lift the suitcase upright. The handle clicks out and the room goes very still. You want routine, you do it elsewhere, I tell them. He meets my eyes and doesn't look away this time. My brother takes Anna's phone and sets it face down. No more prompts, he says and slides it toward me. I push it back to the center like a neutral coin. Password, I ask, and Anna taps a quick pattern. The device opens to a silent group screen. Pinned at the top sits a message labeled Field Notes. I scroll and stop at a line stamped today. Use family dinner to secure compliance before weekend trip. Mom's chair legs grind an inch and then freeze. That trip is cancelled, she declares, and nobody blinks. I forward the screenshot to myself and to our lawyer friend. The send bar finishes and my chest steadies for the next step. He reaches for my hand and stops just short. Let me fix this, he says, voice rough and small. Start now, I answer and tilt my head at Anna. He turns and places his ring on the table. Anna inhales like the room yanked the air away. She looks at the ring and then at me. I didn't ask for that, she whispers, hands open. You built the stage for it, I say, and my palm shakes. Mom stands and moves between us like a calm wall. No touching, no coaching, no hidden payments, she lists. Agree out loud or walk out, her eyes don't leave them. The pause stretches until it threatens to snap. Anna nods once and then again like she's swallowing gravel. I agree, she says as the timer on the stove ticks. He repeats it and stares down at the ring. I leave it where it lies and let the silence bite. My father reaches for the front door and holds it open. Your exit or a clean start, he says without heat. Anna looks to my husband and finds no shelter. She lifts her bag and moves toward the threshold. I keep my eyes on him and not the door. Tomorrow at noon we review balances, I say. Joint personal every line, my voice stays even and sharp. He nods and whispers yes like a promise he might keep. Anna stops on the mat and turns half back. I wanted order, she says, the words landing like dull metal. I raise the phone and the memo time stamp ticks on. Then learn it in your own house, I answer, and the door waits. Noon hits and I drop the folder on the table. The voice memo glows red and waits between us. Open your banking apps, I keep my hands still. He unlocks and places two phones down like hot stones. A third device hums under his jacket sleeve. I tap the fabric and the shape goes still. Airplane mode, all of them, I hold out my palm. He meets my eyes, then sets the hidden one down. The joint account loads first with a spinning wheel. 3 fresh pulls sit stacked with coded names. I tap cancel on every scheduled debit. A confirmation number flashes and I read it aloud. Speakerphone rings at the bank helpline. A clipped voice lists options and asks for intent. Block any training-related merchant immediately, I answer. He flinches at the word and rubs his brow. The rep asks for the last 4 digits and date. He gives them and winces when the hold lifts. Charges frozen pending dispute, the voice concludes cleanly. I jot the reference and slide the paper toward him. Personal accounts, I point and keep my finger still. He hesitates like the table might bite his wrist. The suitcase handle clicks up beside my knee. He unlocks both accounts and turns the screens around. Transfers show to Anna with short notes. Lunch review, practice tune-up, off-site reinforcement. I scroll for today and stop at an address. The same cafe where I never go. I lift his eyes with a slow nod. How many private meetings, I ask without blinking. He flexes his jaw and stares at the floor. 3, he whispers, and the room contracts. Receipts, I tap today's line and pull the invoice. A captured signature matches hers in tight loops. Timestamp sits 10 minutes after our fight. I forward the file to our family thread. The door rattles once with a short knock. Anna stands on the step with a tote snared tight. I'm here for my wristband, she says through the gap. I set the chain and keep the opening narrow. You left an unpaid mess, I hold the drive up. She glances past me toward the table and him. You can keep your copy, just delete the cloud. Not an option, I answer and flip my memo back on. Speak to both of us now, I widen the door 1 inch. She edges inside and stops when she sees our father. Mom remains seated and watches without a blink. Anna straightens and folds her hands in cautious patience. I'll provide a written retraction for the program. Her eyes register the camera lens on the counter. In exchange, you agree not to broadcast. Right first, I say, pushing a blank sheet forward. She pens a brief admission with clipped strokes. Coach role exceeded appropriate boundaries during domestic routines. I slide it to him and then to Mom. Phones rise around the table and shutters click. Keys, I extend a small dish between us. Anna's mouth hardens as she digs through her tote. 2 copies clatter down like tiny betrayals. My brother marks them with tape and numbers. I pull up a fresh chat to our lawyer friend. Photo attachments queue and fly out in sequence. Anna watches the send bar climb with a tight jaw. Stop digging, she warns, but her voice has no bite. This ends now, I motion to the hallway camera. Remote login request fires again in the corner. I deny and rotate the default codes to new values. Anna shifts her weight and stares at the hardwood. You return the last payment by tonight. I open the calculator and type the exact sum. Send proof to the thread before midnight. Her nostrils flare and she nods once. He clears his throat and places both palms flat. I'll contact a counselor today, his voice scrapes dry. With me choosing, I cut in and hold his gaze. He nods and doesn't reach for my hand. I slide his ring back across the table. He catches it before it falls off the edge. Pocket it until you earn it, my chest stays steady. He tucks it away like it's stung through fabric. Anna reaches for the tote and pauses mid-air. I want to apologize, her chin wobbles once. Use complete sentences, Mom prompts, arms folded tight. Anna inhales and finally speaks without scripts. I interfered in your marriage for control. She looks at him and then at me. I thought compliance meant care, I was wrong. Silence follows and drags 3 heavy beats. Leave the training boards today, I point at her screen. Post your resignation and lock the group. She thumbs through settings with shaky precision. A mass text pops up confirming the change. I open my calendar and create a strict plan. 1 week apart under the same roof for review. Guest room for him with doors open at dinner. Anna outside our lives completely starting now. He pulls a duffel from the closet and starts filling it. No pacing, no commentary, no pleading. He lines up folded shirts and shuts the zipper. I watch each motion and give him no rescue. Anna lingers by the door and hovers in place. Do I get my bracelet back? She asks softly. You can have your dignity back first, I answer. She flinches and reaches for the knob. Our father steps forward and holds the door wide. No revisits, he says, steady and unadorned. Anna nods and moves across the threshold slowly. The latch clicks and she disappears into Saturday noise. I return to the table and lock my phone. Counseling link will hit your inbox in 10 minutes. He nods and wipes his face with the back of his hand. He takes the guest room key and grips it hard. Mom gathers the signed statement and taps the margin. Family dinner tomorrow, you bring proof of payment reversal. She looks at me last and waits for a sign. I nod once and slide the memo into a new file. He stands in the doorway with the duffel strapped tight. I want to fix what I broke, he says quietly. You start by serving your own choices, I answer. He swallows and steps down the hall without argument. I wipe the table where the ring had rested. A small circle remains like a pale target. I press my thumb over it and hold for 5 seconds. When I lift, the mark stays faint and stubborn. My phone buzzes with a new email from the bank. Provisional credit issued appears in the subject line. I forward it to the family thread with no comment. A heart reaction pops, then 2 more, then nothing. I take the timers from the drawer and set them down. All of them face me like small, obedient faces. I twist 1 to 1 minute and let it run. Tick after tick measures the distance I've won. Footsteps pause at the far end of the hallway. A door closes with a careful pull and no slam. I breathe once and open the fridge for plain water. The timer winds down and the last second stretches. The bell dings, I turn it off and stare. At the plate. There is no hungry person waiting for a demonstration. There is no coach waiting to grade my posture. There is me and the kitchen and the rule I chose.